What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, silver. But more specifically, we're going to be talking about trading silver eagles for silver Libertads. We're going to be answering a subscriber's question related to that, along with answering a couple of other questions as well. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos. Go and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. Come and join the Precious Metals VIP Club for giveaways, live streams, deal alerts, and a whole lot more. And of course, make sure to go and get your free couple of stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Everything will be linked in the description. So today is Sunday, April 3rd, 2022. Believe it or not, it's still Monday, March 28th, 2022 as I'm filming the video, which means I have no idea what spot price is going to be by the time the video drops. So head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. Alright, so being that it's Sunday, it's time to do a Sunday Q&A. I have quite a few questions that I screenshot, and I'm pretty excited about answering these throughout the course of the video. So if anybody wants to be featured in next week's Q&A, or if you have a question for me and you'd like to see it answered in a video where I can kind of deep dive into detail rather than just replying to a comment with a sentence or two. I get a lot of comments, by the way, so it's hard for me to even reply to comments at this point. But if you have a good question, and if it's something that I don't typically talk about in my videos, I'd be more than happy to screenshot it and include it in a future Q&A. So if you have any questions for me, head on down to the comments and ask away. But now, without any further ado, let's just jump into these questions. The first one I have here is coming from Jason, and the question is, what's fractional, like an ounce or less? Good question. This was in response to a poll that I posted. Funny enough, as I'm recording this video, a poll that I posted just this morning. And by the time this video right here is coming out, I would have already posted a video talking about fractional silver. But I wanted to talk about this really quick because I don't really have a whole great deal of fractional silver. But the answer to the question, by the way, is anything below an ounce of silver, fractional silver. A fraction of an ounce of silver, I guess, to be more specific. So, for example, you can go and get yourself little 1/10 of a troy ounce silver rounds or bars. You can go and get yourself some little 1 gram silver rounds or bars. These are a couple ones sent in from Lewis out in Puerto Rico. Thank you for sending these my way. You can go and get yourself maybe a 1/4 ounce or even maybe a 1/2 ounce silver round or bar. There was a round right there. Here's a bar. This one was sent in from Lon. Lon, thank you for sending this my way. This wasn't really a gift to the channel. This was actually a payment, believe it or not. But either way, you can go and get yourself 1/10 ounce, 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce silver rounds or bars. You can go even smaller than that. The little 1 gram bars, 2 gram, 2.5 gram, 5 gram. You can do whatever you want. Anything below a troy ounce. Now, the reason I brought it up in the first place, the poll that I had posted on Monday, aka just a couple of hours ago for me, the poll that I had posted was just asking if there's anybody out there that stacks fractional pure silver rounds or bars. I personally do not. I have nothing against them other than the crazy high premiums. In fact, the crazy high premiums, that's really the only thing I have against any type of silver. Silver at the end of the day. I don't care if it's a troy ounce. I don't care if it's 2 troy ounces. Doesn't matter to me. It equals a troy ounce either way. Which one has a more fair premium? That's the question I would ask, and whichever one has the more fair premium between the two, that's the one that I'm going to go with. And unfortunately, typically, fractional silver just has always carried a crazy high premium. Even before premiums in general were cranked up through the roof, pre-2020, fractional silver rounds and bars always carried wacky premiums. So I was never really interested in them. Well, I was definitely interested in them, but I never went after any until 2020. I went and got myself a 1/2 ounce silver round because I got it pretty close to spot, not gonna lie. I mentioned that in the video titled something along the lines of Fractional Silver. Just if you want to go and see that video, just go onto my channel and go back like 5-6 days or whatever. It's a fractional silver video. And in the video, I talked about my solution to the problem being that I don't really like to focus on problems. I don't really like to be problem-oriented. I like to take the American approach, which is to be solution-oriented. So my solution to the problem was just to stick to 90% junk constitutional silver instead. The premiums are too high on 10th ounce, quarter ounce, and half ounce pieces. So instead, I go after 1/14 ounce, 1/6, and of course, 1/3. It makes more sense to me. It's what I prefer. And not to mention, you have an extra layer of security, being that they are coins minted by sovereign governments, by going with older constitutional silver, that is. Next question we have is coming from Peter, asking me, should we be checking silver under a microscope? What would we see? Good question. Thanks for asking. Now, a lot of people do examine coins under a microscope, and it's for a couple of different reasons. Some coins, or potentially rounds and bars out there, have micro engraving on them, a security feature or proof of authenticity so small that you can't even really see it. Maybe you can see it just by looking at it with your eyes, but maybe you're not able to tell exactly what it is or what it says or what's really there. So if you put it under a microscope, you get a closer look. Now this is in response to a video that I posted also a couple of days ago, and it was just using a microscope to compare and contrast real silver coins to fake silver coins. I used a fractional gold eagle, a real and a fake one. I used, I believe, a Morgan dollar and a peace dollar, a real and a fake one for each. I used a Walking Liberty half dollar, I believe. And I think I used a silver eagle as well. And there might have even been another coin or two in there. I don't remember exactly. But I had been given a small bag of fake coins so that I can test them out and compare real ones to fake ones. They were just given to me for free, like, here, use these just as dummy coins, basically, just so you can see what fake ones do versus what real ones do. So I put the fake ones under the microscope, and lo and behold, the microscope really helped out. I mean, obviously I knew which ones were real versus fake right off the bat, but some of the coins, just by looking at them, just holding it in your hand, you may or may not be able to tell, especially if you're someone relatively new to stacking. So a microscope can really help out. The one that I used in my video, it was just really to really laser in, really zoom in, and take a look at some of the little differences between different coins and different rounds and whatnot. And the main difference that I noticed under the microscope was that you can actually really tell. There's a huge difference in the lettering used on the coins. Now, just by looking at the coins, you may or may not be able to tell the difference, but under the microscope, I could definitely tell. But another reason you might want to use a microscope, and you don't have to use a crazy expensive one. You don't have to go and spend, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a microscope, especially when it's not something that you're going to be carrying around with you, especially to the local coin shop and whatnot. I use a couple of other little, I guess you can say, security devices that fit in the pocket. So those are great. There's the pocket pinger, there's the decoder lens. Microscope, on the other hand, don't really see you fitting that in your pocket. I guess you can use a magnifying glass, but a microscope is probably a whole lot better. But another reason you might want to use one, or get one, or borrow one, or anything like that, is to see if whether or not a coin has micro scratches on the face. See, a lot of coins out there, they'll be advertised as uncirculated or pristine condition, and just by looking at it, you're like, all right, yeah, that's an uncirculated, pristine condition coin. Little do you realize that under a microscope, you can actually see it has some little micro scratches on the face of the coin. Now, this is something that I had learned early on. Nothing microscope related, but when it came to getting myself cull maple leaves, ones that were not considered to be in pristine condition, some of them had milk spots, some of them were toned or tarnished or discolored or whatever, but some of them looked absolutely perfect. Like some of them were like gorgeous. They looked like fresh from the mint. And I was wondering to myself, how in the world is this a cull? Was it given to me by accident? Because a lot of the time I would get culls and some of them looked really, really good. And to my surprise, they can look fantastic, but under a microscope, you can actually see some little scratches, which take away from the coin itself, if you think about it that way. And one last reason is some people have suggested that you can remove toning or tarnish or milk spots or whatever from the face of the coin by using the eraser of a pencil. I would recommend you don't do this. By doing this, that's almost a guaranteed way of causing micro scratches on the face of the coin. So you probably don't want to do that. But at the end of the day, you don't really need to be going out of your way and getting yourself a microscope. If you don't need one. I wouldn't say it's a necessity, especially if you're someone like me that's just stacking like 90% silver at this point. You probably don't need a microscope. Next question we have is coming from Mark, asking me, 4,000 gallons is a very specific amount that's easy to understand and work with. Why would you ever make something so much more ambiguous as 2 to 5 years, especially when it comes to life-saving equipment? Good question. This is a question that's being asked in response to me talking about the water purification unit that I use. It used to be advertised as the filters on the inside will last about 4,000 gallons. That's the way it was described in the past. Nowadays, they made it so that it says 2 to 5 years instead of 4,000 gallons. Now, originally, I was like, I don't know why they changed it. But to be honest with you, I would say it's probably because, and it makes far more sense than you realize, probably because who in the world keeps track of how many thousands of gallons of water they have filtered or purified over the course of however many years? It's not like you're going to be filling up the water purification unit one day and say, all right, today is gallon 2,146. It doesn't work that way. You're not keeping tally marks all over the place. It's probably way more complicated to go by 4,000 gallons than it is to go by 2 to 5 years. Time frames are way easier to keep track of than however many gallons you've been going through. And plus, at the end of the day, I'm sure the reason they switched it is because they realized the average person probably goes through 4,000 gallons over the course of 2 to 5 years. If you're someone that doesn't go through crazy amounts of water, you're probably going to be closer to the 4 to 5 year mark. If you're someone like me who drinks crazy amounts of water, you're probably going to be closer to the 2, maybe 3 year mark. So I would say that probably has everything to do with it, but I'm not going to speak for the company. I have no idea. At the end of the day, I think a time frame saying, hey, you have 2 to 4 years, rather than saying, hey, you have 4,000 gallons to go through. I would say the new way is an improvement. I would say it's way easier to understand. I would say it's way easier to keep track of. And that goes for absolutely everything, by the way. There are a ton of different prepping products and whatnot that I use, prepping products that I have purchased for myself. And by the way, the water purification unit that we're referring to, I'm not sponsored by them. I've never been sponsored by them. They've never paid me to make a video. I paid full price for mine. In fact, I bought 2 of them and paid full price. So I'm not saying anything to sell you on the water purification unit that I have. I think everybody should have some form of water purification unit, but I like this way better. And when it comes to a lot of the prepping products that I use, every last one of them I picked up with my own currency, and I like to believe that I made the right decision on each and every one of them. And of course, there are different brands you can go with. There are different companies you can buy from, and I'm beyond satisfied with every single product that I've picked up, whether it be the water purification unit or the power station or portable fire pit and cooking stove, or my food dehydrator. The list goes on. I have so many different prepping products, and I would encourage each and every one of you to get yourselves prepared. Start preparing now. A lot of people you want to know when a lot of people actually started preparing? After the crash of 2020, that's when everybody chose to scramble and say, oh man, what do? I need to go and get myself a bunch of cases of water. I don't have to do that. I can go the rest of my life never buying another bottle of water, case of water, jug of water, forever. Because the water purification unit I use, I don't need to do that. I just fill it up with tap water and it purifies through. I could fill it up with river water if I wanted to, or if I needed to. It'll purify through. So I'm beyond happy. That's all I'll say about that. Next question we have is coming from Andrea Pesci, I believe, asking me, is it wise to invest my IRA in gold, silver? Good question. You absolutely can. It's 100% an option. You have the ability to, you have the option to, and a lot of people do. I personally would not. And this is for a couple of different reasons. The main one being, when it comes to the Roth IRA, for those of you who don't know what that is or what that means, it just stands for Individual Retirement Account. It's when you invest through the Roth IRA, you hold until you're at least 59 and a half. I know a lot of people watching this right now are be like, hey, I turned 59 and a half 3 years ago. But you can wait until you're 59 and a half, and at that point, you can sell tax-free. All of the gains, all of the dividends, everything tax-free. Now here's the thing. When it comes to silver and gold, and I'm assuming you're talking about physical silver and gold, if you're going to go for paper silver and gold, I mean, to be honest with you, I personally wouldn't go for paper silver or paper gold at all. I've never invested in silver and gold on paper. It's not something I've ever done, and it's not something I don't believe I ever will either. So that's kind of out of the question for me. But when it comes to physical silver and physical gold, I don't know if your intentions are to stack so that you can part ways with the stack when it comes time to retire tax-free. A lot of people skirt around this regardless just by selling their silver and gold to the local coin shop in small increments at a time. If you go to the local coin shop and you're bringing like $15,000 worth of silver and gold with you, and you cash out and they fork over all that cash, or they write you a check or whatever, they're required to report that. But if you're just parting ways with under $10,000, $9,999.99, or anything below that, you know, a lot of people don't fork over the whole stack all at once anyway. A lot of people just run to the local coin shop, maybe just because they need a little bit of cash. Maybe they just run to the coin shop with 4 or 5 ounces of silver just because they need, you know, $100 or so, or maybe they just need a couple $100. This is what a lot of people do, and it's just really a cash transaction. Now, if you part ways with your silver in exchange for cash at a gain, meaning you did what I did, and you put your dollar bills into silver, and your average cost still to this day is probably around the $20, maybe $21, $22 an ounce mark, premium included. And nowadays, with the spot price of silver and gold being significantly higher than that, or at this point just a couple of dollars, but a lot of the silver that I got was like $14, $15, $16, $17, $18 an ounce. I have seen quite a bit of gains. On paper, you can consider them to be unrealized gains. So if I were to sell the silver and gold, which I never have done, and I don't plan on it, I plan on holding on to the silver and gold for life. If I'm going to trade anything away, it'll be a little bit of silver for a little bit of gold, if and when the ratio makes sense. But if I were to sell at a gain, I would be required to report that. That's capital gains tax. But with cash transactions that people make, I don't know how anybody would know. It's not something that I would really encourage, but you are expected to report it. It's up to you whether or not you report it. That's on you if that's what you want to do. But as for the Roth IRA, I don't think silver and gold would make a whole lot of sense, just because parting ways with it is tax-free in a lot of ways anyway. And not only that, but The silver and gold, it's a little bit too specific for me to put through the Roth. I would rather focus on broad market index funds that kind of cover all bases. Domestic and international takes care of absolutely everything, different types of markets and whatnot. ETFs and index funds, I believe, make far more sense for the Roth than something as specific as silver and gold, but that's just my opinion. I'm no financial advisor or anything like that. That's something to talk to your financial advisor or your accountant about. Next question is coming from Mykie DYDSS2 asking me, gas prices keep going up and I'm scared I won't be able to afford driving to the coin shop anymore. What do I do? Good question, Mykie DYDSS. I'm glad you asked, and you asked at a very convenient time because guess what? It's the beginning of April, which means it's the beginning of Q2, the second quarter of 2022, which means the new 5% cashback category is open and up for grabs if you're using the Discover It cashback card, this card right here. If you guys don't know about that card, it changes categories every 4 months, and usually every year they're about the same, but they switch up every 4 months. Every quarter, new category. The category that we just wrapped up, it was grocery stores and whatnot, but now the second quarter that we're in, gas stations and, for whatever reason, Target. I know Target's very random and specific, don't really care too much about that, but the gas stations, this can come in handy. Now, the way these categories work is you can spend up to $1,500 and get 5% cash back. But if it's your first year with the card, which unfortunately for me, it's no longer my first year, but if it is your first year, they actually match all of your cash back for your first 365 days. So if you max out those quarterly categories, so if you maxed out, let's just say this quarter on gasoline, $1,500. Most of the time, for people who have had the card for over a year, you would get $75 back, which, by the way, is beautiful. 5% back, that's fantastic. But if they match all of your cash back, that means you're getting 10% cash back. Gassing up at the gas station. 10%. That's $150 back if you max out the quarter with $1,500. And by the way, anything beyond that, you get 1% back, which means for your first year, you get 2% back. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up isn't just because gas is getting more expensive. It's, it's going up. We all see it. Most states are still seeing it at this point. There are a couple of examples of certain cities or certain states where the gas prices have gone down a little bit in the last week, but still up by a lot from where it was this time last year. But as for the rest of us, the gas prices are still climbing. So I know that this right here is not a solution to the problem, but like I said before, I like to take the American approach, and I like to do things, or I like to be a solution-oriented person rather than a problem-oriented person. It's very easy to sit here and just pound my fist on the table and stomp my feet and complain and just hit record and be like, oh, gas prices are going up because of these politicians, blah, 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 let's complain. It's very easy to do that. People like to take the easy way out. People like to just be unproductive. I decided, hey, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to do whatever it takes to save as much money gassing up at the gas station as possible. Whatever it takes. So if I can get 5% cash back, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. For people out there who maybe don't have the card yet or they recently got the card, for your first year, it's technically 10% back. So if you're going to apply for the credit card, you don't have to use my referral link, but make sure you use somebody's referral link. If you do, you and whoever referred you will each get a $100 statement credit that you don't have to pay back, which means $100 on your card that you can go to the gas station with, and you can spend that $100 almost like it's a gift card, $100. You don't have to pay that back. If you don't know anybody with the card, you're more than welcome to use mine. The referral link will be in the description. You and I will each get $100 statement credit if you're approved. And technically it's a starter card, which means this is like a card that a lot of people get as their very first credit card. So you don't really need to have established credit to be approved. So it's pretty easy to be approved. Worth a shot. I don't know if I've heard of anybody getting denied for the card. Pretty simple card to get. And here's the best part. Here's the last thing I'll say about it. Moving into the third quarter of the year. July, August, and September, coming up in just a couple of months. 5% cash back on PayPal transactions, which means almost everything on the internet, which means eBay and a lot of those online precious metal dealing websites, which I know support the local coin shop 100%, but if you want to make an exception, or if you just get all your silver and gold online anyway, this card will give you 5% back for 3 months, up to $1,500. And if it's your first year with the card, 10% back on all of your silver and all of your gold for 3 months. If you max it out with $1,500 during your first year, you get $150 back just for stacking. That's one of the main selling points. That's why I got the card in the first place. I was really looking forward to that. So again, you don't have to use my referral link, but make sure you use somebody's. If you don't know anybody with the card, you're more than welcome to use mine. The referral link will be in the description. Happy saving, happy stacking, and also happy gassing up the car, I guess. And now the next question we have is actually the final question of the night. It's coming from Nessalino. And the question is, I'll trade you all my ASEs for your Libertads. Didn't think so. I'm calling BS. What do you mean didn't think so? You didn't give me a chance to answer. The answer is yes. Let me move that, by the way. The answer is yes. I hope your offer still stands. I would gladly trade you all of your Silver Eagles for my Libertads. All of them except for this one right here, just because this was a gift. In fact, you can keep one of your Silver Eagles if you want, just to be fair. Put your metal where your mouth is. Now, the reason this question was asked in the first place, this was in response to a video that I posted a couple of days ago once again. And the video was like a 43-minute long video of me just doing this hiking trail. And it was really all about 3/9 fine versus 4/9 fine pure silver coins. And I used the Silver Eagle and the Maple Leaf as examples because the Silver Eagle is a great example of a 3/9 fine and the Maple Leaf is a great example of a 4/9 fine. So I was comparing and contrasting different levels of purity, and I was also comparing and contrasting a couple of different coins as well. Now again, this was a 43-minute long video, pretty lengthy. And of those 43 minutes, there was about 60 seconds where I actually went through and ranked a couple of different coins. And I actually took that as a clip and I uploaded it as a separate YouTube Shorts video. Only 60 seconds. And it was titled something along the lines of Ranking Silver Coins in the Woods or something like that. And in that clip, I talked about what I consider to be the #1 superior top dog pure silver 1 troy ounce coin. The American Silver Eagle. I have one right here. The beautiful Silver Eagle. I truly believe this is the #1 pure silver 1 troy ounce coin. But also, coming in a very close second place, it's actually tied for second place, according to my ranking, that is, I put the Maple Leaf, the Britannia, and the Libertad, all tied for second place, all tied for a very close second place, by the way. I do not believe the Silver Eagle blows all the other ones out of the water, but I would definitely put it in first place. Second place belongs to, according to my rankings, the Libertad, the Maple Leaf, and the Britannia. And then in a very, very, very close third place, I would put a couple of other coins, such as the Kangaroo, the Philharmonic, the Krugerrand, etc., etc., etc. So, according to my rankings, Silver Eagle's first place, and the Libertad is one of the coins in second place. And according to Nessalino, calling BS, offering to trade all of his Silver Eagles for all of my Libertads. The answer is yes, yes. Let's make it happen. Let's do it right now. I have a P.O. box. Reach out to me on Twitter. Reach out to me on Instagram. Let's make the trade. I've never traded any of my silver for anything before. I've never traded any of my silver for other silver. I've never traded any of my silver for gold. I've never traded any of my silver back for cash, but I'm willing to make this trade right here. And you want to know why? It's because you didn't specify how many. You said all of yours for all of mine. And I don't really have all that many Libertads. I only have like a handful, and I would assume you probably have far more than a handful Silver Eagles. And since you said you'd be willing to trade all of your Silver Eagles for all of my Libertads, you'd probably be trading a whole lot more Silver Eagles for just a small handful of Libertads, and you're the one who made the proposal. So let's absolutely do it. I'm 100% down. Let's trade the Silver Eagles for the Silver Libertads. Put your metal where your mouth is. You should have been specific. Now, I know that it sounds like I'm being sarcastic or facetious or joking, which, let's be honest, I kind of am. But seriously, if you're going to make an offer like that, you can't backpedal. And I actually am willing to trade my Libertads, except for this one right here, for each and every one of his Silver Eagles. So let's make it happen. Let's do it. I'm calling you out. Nessalino, let's go. Let's roll. I got the Libertads. I'll be on Instagram waiting. At Mykie DYDSS, in case anybody else wants to follow me, by the way. I post a lot of pictures over there. But those are just some of my thoughts on ranking the Silver Eagle and also a couple of other coins such as the Libertad, which, by the way, let's do a closer look at this one right here. And by the way, I'd also like to respond a little bit more than just to the facetious, or not really facetious, kind of sounding facetious, but actually kind of serious remarks that I was making about trading my Libertads for his Silver Eagles, which I am 100% down to do, by the way. But I wanted to point something out. I've been posting videos every single day for over 6 years. And going on 4.5 of those 6 years, they've been videos every single day about silver and gold and whatnot. And I will be honest, the amount of comments that I've received about the Silver Eagle doesn't even compare to how many comments I've received about Libertads. Hardly anybody brings up the Libertad. I've made videos about Libertads, and people still leave comments completely disregarding the Libertad, talking about the Silver Eagle instead. I post videos about Silver Eagles, and everybody talks about Silver Eagles. They don't even mention the Libertad. Now, I'm not saying that the Libertad is an unpopular coin. It's absolutely popular. It's a beautiful coin. There's a reason I put it as a very, very, very close second place, which, by the way, don't worry about what some guy on YouTube says when it comes to ranking different coins. That's just my belief. At the end of the day, it's really not that deep. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Words are just words. If I put one in first place and one in second place, it doesn't change the premium on your coin. It doesn't change the value of your coin. It doesn't make or break you in any way, shape, or form. So it's really not that serious, to be honest with you. But, truth be told, based on my own personal experience, and I know this is anecdotal, but this is going over the course of over 4 years at this point, I get way more people talking about the Silver Eagle. In fact, if I were to decide to sell all of my silver one day and I were to use my YouTube channel, if I were to utilize what I have going on over here to sell them, which I'm not doing, by the way, because I won't sell my silver, but hypothetically, if I were to do that, I would imagine I would have a much more difficult time parting ways with the Libertads than the Eagles. And that's just because of the comments that I receive. The overwhelming majority, I would say more than 99%. If I were to compare the comments, Libertads to Eagles, I would assume more than 99% of the comments will belong to the Silver Eagle, and less than 1% will be about the Libertad. In fact, you can go through every single comment that I've received on my channel. Good luck finding any comments about Libertads. Pretty much nobody comments about Libertads, not on my channel at least. And I've made several videos about Libertads. Anyway, those are just some of my thoughts, and that's just one of the many reasons I believe that the Silver Eagle is the #1 superior top dog, pure silver 1 troy ounce coin above the Libertad and also above the Britannia, the Maple Leaf, the Krugerrand, the Philharmonic, the list goes on. But those are just some of my thoughts. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. If you have any questions for me and you want to be featured in next week's Q&A video, head on down to the comments and ask away. Make sure, do not forget, if you want to get the Discover It cashback card, use somebody's referral link. Doesn't have to be mine, but if you use mine, if you don't know anybody with the link, mine will be in the description. We each get $100 statement credit, and we each get 5 to potentially 10% cash back on the next couple of rotating quarterly categories. Gas stations this quarter, PayPal next quarter. It'll be great. So my link will be in the description if you need it. And then, of course, when it comes to the Silver Eagle versus the Libertad, which is your preference between the two? Do you prefer one over the other? If you absolutely had to choose, you only had enough currency to get one of them and they were the same exact price, which would you go after? Would you go after the Silver Eagle or would you go after the Silver Libertad? Head on down to the comments and let me know. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Make sure to go and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. We got t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs in a bunch of different designs. A lot of the products are actually raising a little bit of funds and awareness for different charity organizations, by the way. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club, which is where I do giveaways every single month, live streams multiple times a week, deal alerts on silver and gold almost every single day. You can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. Every Saturday morning I post a brand new vlog. I just posted one yesterday and it's actually a really interesting one. You're going to want to watch that. And there are a ton of other perks as well. I guarantee you the value exceeds the cost. VIP Club link in the description. And of course, last but certainly not least, make sure to go and get your free couple of stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Unfortunately, I'm filming this video, like I said, in March, and every month they have a new promo going on. So unfortunately, I have no friggin' idea what the April promo is going to be, but I do know that every single month they offer free stocks for those of you who sign up and fund your account. And you can fund your account with any amount. It could be as little as a penny, and you still get the free stocks. It still counts. And I know this because that's what I did. Webull link in the description. And of course, last but not least, friendly reminder, just in case you want the Discover It cashback card, 5% cashback at gas stations this quarter, 10% if it's your first year with the card. Next quarter, it's 5% cashback on PayPal transactions, aka silver and gold get off of eBay or any of the online precious metal dealing websites. 10% if it's your first year with the card. And I think the fourth quarter is going to be, I think, Amazon or something like that. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Referral link in the description in case you want the card. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again, what are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? If you have any questions for me, if you want to be featured in next week's Q&A, head on down to the comments and ask away. If you'd like to extend on any of the answers that I gave in this video, if there's anything that you want to just build onto what I said, you're more than welcome to do so in the comments. And then, of course, when it comes to the Silver Eagle versus the Silver Libertad, which is your preference between the two? The 1 troy ounce Eagle or the 1 troy ounce Libertad? If they were the same exact price and you only had enough currency to get one, and you had to choose, which one would you go with and why? And if you were to rank, let's just say, the top 5 pure silver 1 troy ounce coins, how would you go about ranking them? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.